and the social sphere. And of course, to help the Russian Geographical Society bring to life such promising projects as, for example, the ice base named after Artur Nikolaevich Chilingarov, or the Arctic Exploration Museum Park in Krasnoyarsk on Molokov Island, a truly significant place for all polar explorers, scientists, historians, and pilots.
To the starting point of Arctic victories.
Our duty is to properly arrange places associated with the most important events in Russian history and our national triumphs and heroes. By becoming acquainted with such examples, young people gain a sense of pride in their homeland and a desire to be useful to their country.
I ask both the Russian Geographical Society and the esteemed trustee to join in the implementation of Arctic initiatives.
They rightfully are present in this hall as honorary guests of the Congress. We will meet again today during the ongoing events, but right now from this podium I want to sincerely thank you for your direct participation in the life and work of the Russian Geographical Society. Thank you very much. The support of the trustees is the foundation of the successes of the Russian Geographical Society, a worthy continuation of the traditions of the famous members and competitors of the Imperial Geographical Society, thanks to whom hundreds of discoveries were made in their time, defining many of Russia's achievements in science and the economy, defense, and culture. I would like to remind you that the main goal of the founders of the Geographical Society in 1845 was, and I quote, to gather and direct the best young talents of Russia towards a comprehensive study of their native land. This goal is still relevant today. After all, patriotism, a sense of involvement in the fate of the homeland, and responsibility for its future arise from knowledge of its history, geography, and cultural and natural heritage of the fatherland. I am convinced that the main direction for the further development of the Russian Geographical Society is education and the dissemination of knowledge, the consolidation of youth around constructive ideas and traditional values. I believe it is absolutely correct to involve the Russian Geographical Society in preparing a unified geography textbook. In addition to knowledge, there is extensive experience working with children here. Successful projects like educational programs for those who are yet to study geography and specialized sessions, the world of discoveries. For 10 years, the Russian Geographical Society has been conducting programs in leading children's health camps. Developmental thematic recreation should be available in every region of the Federation, and I propose that the Russian Geographical Society, with the support of local authorities, of course, take on its organization. I would like to specifically address the Media Council of the Russian Geographical Society, which includes leaders of key domestic media outlets. I ask you to continue being conduits for the educational mission of the Russian Geographical Society in all informational formats, from social networks to television and internet portals, such as the geoinformation resource Russia from Sea to Sea, which in terms of diversity and completeness of data on maritime heritage has virtually no analogues in the world, or the Geoportal of the Russian Geographical Society, which has made available to users more than 20,000 unique digitized maps. Attention, companies involved in the development and training of artificial intelligence should also pay attention to the funds of the Russian Geographical Society. Only by relying on our culture, history, linguistic richness, traditions, and traditional values can we create truly sovereign models of artificial intelligence rather than copying foreign solutions, which leads to both technological and ideological dependence and ultimately to the loss of sovereignty. Dear friends, in 2 years it will be 200 years since the birth of the great scientist, one of the leaders of the Russian Geographical Society, Pyotr Petrovich Semyonov-Teyanshansky. This event will be celebrated by the entire country. However, the year 2027 also marks a number of significant geographical anniversaries, including the 200th anniversary of the first president of the Russian Geographical Society, Grand Duke Konstantin, and 330 years since the discovery of Kamchatka by Russian pioneers.
Taking into account the contribution of our geographers from different eras to the strengthening of the state and the utmost importance of geographical science, I ask the government to explore the possibility of declaring the year 2027 as the year of geography.
It is important for us from a political point of view. And the main event of this year may not only be the consolidation maps or new maps of the Russian Federation, but also the opening of the Geography Museum will undoubtedly have practical significance. Delegates of the Congress know the Geographic Museum was conceived from the very beginning of the RGO's work. But unique artifacts from the expeditions of Przewalski, Ekaisie, Mokomu, Mikluho, Maclay, Kozlov, and other great scientists had to be distributed to foreign collections. And the Geographic Museum, established in Petrograd in the year 1919, was liquidated 20 years later, also due to completely political considerations. In the year 19, under the Bolsheviks, it was already created, and in Nezhin, in the 40th, for some reason, closed due to political considerations.
Well, all right, that was in the past, and we need to move on and look forward.
And there are only a few specialized geographical museums in the world, but our museum must be established in Russia, and it must be the largest, most beautiful, diverse, and certainly meet all the requirements of today. Dear friends,
So today the Congress delegates are to elect the president of the Russian Geographical Society. The Academic Council has nominated Sergei Kuzhugetovich Shoigu for this position. He was one of the direct initiators of the revival of the Russian Geographical Society in his time. As you know, campaigning on election day is not conducted, but I hope that all voters will keep in mind his contributions to the revival and development of the Russian Geographical Society. Thank you for your attention.